What's going on, my good people? Welcome back to Roll the Clip TV. As always, I'm your host, Roberto. If you guys hear some noise in the background, is that my wife is in the studio today. She's out there working out. If I would turn the camera around, but I can't show y'all what a lovely sight I'm looking at. Nevertheless, my good people, I don't know if you guys have watched it, but Usher Raymond won the Lifetime Achievement Award on BET, and he was dropping the signs. I'm gonna play a clip for y'all, and I'm gonna come back and give my commentary. And to all my black men out there, tune in, subscribe. I'll be right back. Roll it.
Thank you so much for being my best friend. Thank you so much for supporting me and encouraging me. For each and every fan, he who knows no sin cast the first stone. We gotta be willing to forgive. We gotta be willing to be open. I'm telling you, you're standing before a man who had to forgive a man who never showed up ever. And look what I made with it. Look what I was able to usher in. But that's what's real, and that's what makes us human. That's what makes us men and women. I thank y'all, man.
My brothers and sisters, I think it's long overdue that we see black men on TV celebrating their queens, celebrating their families. Usher talked a lot about forgiveness. He talked a lot about forgiveness. He even talked about forgiving his ex. And he said he's working on it. So I feel him in that regard. I don't know if I'm going to cross that line ever in my lifetime, but I understand what he's talking about. But more so than anything else, he talked about forgiving his father. Something I know that black men deal with more than anything else. Because in our communities, our fathers, especially if you were in the Gen X age, they just weren't present or they weren't there. Not all of them, but many of them. And so I love to see where we're going as mature men. I love to see when we celebrate our queens and we celebrate our families. Listen, we live in a day and age where people have told us to get surgeries and people have told us to spend money on this and you're going to feel better. Listen, at the end of the day, the only thing that's going to make our lives feel more fulfilled is going to be God. I don't care how much money you have in the bank. I don't care how many people you're around. I don't care what kind of car you drive. When you put your head on the pillow, the peace of God that passes all understanding is something completely different. It ain't got nothing to do with what's in your bank account. And I love to see this trend. Usher called a lot of Babyface, L.A. Reid, called all of these different black men on stage because they helped to lay a foundation. And so he was giving a shout out to his musical fathers, but he said he had a hard time for a lot of years forgiving his father. And I understand him about this. I am 53 years old, my brothers and sisters, and I'm going to tell y'all this. If you have heard anything on Roller Clip TV, you have heard me say that both of my fathers were absolutely not present in my life. I'm not mad at them. I'm not mad at them anymore. But in my younger years, I was mad. I was full of hate. I was full of rage. And it started to eat me up inside. But now, God has blessed me. I'm at a different phase in my life. I can let go and I can let God. And I love the fact that where black men are on TV finally having these conversations. And more so than anything else, giving God the credit and the praise for it. Before I wrap up this video, my brothers and sisters, I want to say this. I see Gen X standing up. I see the 70s and I see the 70 babies rising up and standing up because we have had enough of what the young people have done with social media. And so I'm going to salute you. I'm going to encourage all the men watching this clip, watching Roller Clip TV right now. If you are in your son's life, be the king that God created you to be. Rule the way God created you to rule. Teach the way God created you to teach. Be what God had created you to be in their lives. We have been through all the BS. Listen, it is long overdue that we begin to mature, celebrate our women. Listen, I talk about my wife almost in every single episode on Roller Clip TV. Why? Because even though I am behind the microphone, we are still doing this together. And it is time for black men to put the bullish aside and be consistent, be accountable, and be faithful to who God gave us in every single area of our life. I salute Usher Raymond out here in the A. Hey, Usher, if you see this video, come on over. My wife and I are going to invite you in the midst over for a barbecue. We don't really eat ribs anymore, so if you're going to eat ribs, you're going to have to go somewhere else. But nevertheless, come on over for barbecue, sit back and chill. But I really appreciate the message that he displayed on the BET Awards. I think it's something that's long overdue. Of course, I can't play the whole clip because clearly YouTube is a hater at times. They don't want, or not YouTube. Let me not say YouTube. BET would be a hater and give me a copyright strike, and that's not what I want. But I think the message is really important. I think it's time that we are accountable as African American men. I salute every race. I welcome every race. But I'm speaking from the black perspective, and in my community, this is something that's long overdue. Most definitely. I said this once, I said it 1,000 times, that when passion meets purpose, success is guaranteed. So king, be the king that God created you to be. Don't settle for less. Be present in your kid's life. Pay your bills on time. Be responsible. Love the woman that God gave you. And you know what? And I also want to close with this. It is okay. It's okay, my brothers, to put a ring on her finger. Society is going to tell you otherwise. Society is going to say, keep her as wifey. I don't call my wife wifey. I call her my wife. That is my queen, my heart, my soul, my strength. Usher, when he was closing out his speech, he closed out with saying, thank you for his wife being his best friend. I love to see black men celebrating their queens. And I'm not going to stop preaching that enough. Guess you can go to another channel if you don't want to hear it, my brothers and sisters. Nevertheless, we salute Usher for winning the Lifetime Achievement Award. His message was heard. His message was received. I hope y'all like this video. Do me a favor. On your way out, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, and I'll be back with the next video real soon. Peace. I'm out.
Something to say. Hey. You got something to say. Hey.